Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear distinguished guest and dear brothers and sisters in Islam. At the outset, I like to express my personal thanks to Honorable Governor, Bank Indonesia and the Management Committee of the conference for inviting me to speak on linking Islamic commercial and social finance with special reference to Cash-waqf as a new strategy of interest-free microcredit for family empowerment of the poor and towards establishment of the World Social Bank, a case study approach. For this third International Islamic Monetary, Economics and Finance Conference in Indonesia. I sincerely regret my inability to attend this significant international conference personally due to my health reasons. I will miss a great opportunity of learning. May I request all of you to remember me in your prayers. With this personal note, I would deeply appreciate if you glance through my paper and make your valuable comments in writing to my email address for my learning process. Learning never ends. This paper has 14 sections, and I will not discuss this paper in detail, as I like to draw your kind attention to some of the salient features of this paper. First, this paper tried to unfold basically three issues. Number one, linking Islamic commercial and social finance through Cash-waqf. Two, mobilization of Cash-waqf as a new strategy of interest-free microcredit for family empowerment of the poor, as opposed to empowerment of women through heavily interest-loaded microcredit given by NGOs in Bangladesh. Third, developing an understanding of establishment of the World Social Bank through mobilization of the Cash-waqf from $1 to infinity for its paid up capital. Cash-waqf collected from the Muslims can be spent for the non-Muslims as well. Having said this, I should point out that floating of the Cash-waqf certificate as a financial instrument by the Social Islamic Bank SIBL in Bangladesh in 1997, formerly known as Social Investment Bank, is an innovation in the history of Islamic finance. Issuance of Cash-waqf certificate has settled the age-old controversy among the scholars concerning the concept of perpetuity and inability associated with Cash-waqf since its implementation during the Ottoman Empire in 15th century. The Cash-waqf certificate solved the Ottoman dilemma for the first time in history by removing the twin barriers of waqf to perpetuity and immovable property endowment, as well as Islamic injunction on charging interest on loan. It has provided a great opportunity for Muslims to invest in religious, educational, and social developments. Banking industry in Bangladesh, that includes at least 6 Islamic banks, has continued using Cash-waqf as their investment products. Collecting cash from the public through Cash-waqf certificate breaks the age-old monopoly of the rich for the waqf establishment. For the first time, for the small savers can contribute in the form of Cash-waqf. Theoretically, number of Cash-waqf certificate holders can now be infinite. Each certificate can be issued in terms of small denomination worth even $1 to any amount. To make the contribution more affordable, Cash-waqf certificate as issued by the Social Islamic Bank can now be purchased in installment. It is distinctly different from the management of the Zakah, foundation, trust and charities in our societies. Revenue generated from the Cash-waqf can be implemented for strategic social investment program, providing interest-free family empowerment microcredit to the poor, thereby linking Islamic commercial finance and social finance. Credit can transfer power to the powerless and help alleviation of poverty. It can reinforce power of the powerful and help in concentration and inequitable distribution of income, thus aggravating the poverty. Seen from this perspective, it can empower a family or disintegrate it. The family is the basic foundation of our society. Cash-waqf certificate then connect people at grassroots, reinforce family values, provide unique opportunity to transfer liquid asset, as well as make connection with one another on a local, national, and global scale. Papers stress the need for local, national, and global mobilization of Cash-waqf for establishment of the World Social Bank to open up new frontiers of human freedom from economic, educational, and social deprivations. Social deprivations. According to the recent report published by the Pew Forum of Religion and Public Life in USA in 2007, global Muslim population stands at 1.6 billion. Nearly 1 in 4 people in the world practice Islam. Same report also presents a portrait of the Muslim world that might surprise many of us. For example, Germany has more Muslims than Lebanon. China has more Muslims than Syria. Russia has more Muslims than Jordan and Libya combined. Ethiopia has nearly as Muslims as Afghanistan. Islam is the world's second largest religion behind Christianity, which is estimated 2.1 to 2.2 billion followers. Same study identified 1/5 of the world Muslim population living in countries where Islam is not a majority religion. Based on these statistics, various simulation models can be constructed based on different assumptions. According to assuming mobilization of Cash-waqf of $1 per Muslim in 1 month amounts to accumulation of $1.6 billion Cash-waqf worldwide globally. 224 million in Indonesia, 160 million in Bangladesh, 154 million in Pakistan, 70 million in Turkey, and 25 million in US dollar in Malaysia, and so on. Muslims are only the major religious group projected to increase faster than any world population as a whole during the year from 2010 to 2050. Accordingly, Muslim population is projected to increase 73% during the year, Christianity 35%, Hindus 34%, Jews 16%, folk religion 11%, unaffiliated 9%, other religion 6%, Buddhist has a negative population growth. Overall, there is a growth of 35% growth in overall global population, whereas Muslim population was a double during this period. Since the establishment of the World Bank almost 73 years ago in 1944, world has failed to alleviate poverty. Indeed, World Bank has helped institutionalizing the poverty as an international business. According to Oxfam in 2016, richest 1% own wealth equal to that of 99% of the world population. What a disparity. So in order to alleviate the poverty, human poverty, we need to establishment of the World Bank, a social World Bank is an imperative. Need for is imperative. Accordingly, this paper has put forward 3 basic proposals to the distinguished conference guest and the participants. Taken all in all, we may submit the following proposal for consideration of this conference. Number 1, this conference may call upon Bank Indonesia to give institutional leadership for mobilization of Cash-waqf at national and global scale for the establishment of the World Social Bank as a strategy for providing interest-free microcredit for family empowerment of the poor at a grassroots level. Second, this conference may call upon or circulate the proceedings of this conference to all the governors of the central banks of 57 Muslim countries of Islamic Development Bank, so that international task force be formed to materialize establishment of the World Bank as soon as possible. And lastly, the conference may call upon the Muslim minorities in non-Muslim countries to take initiative to mobilize Cash-waqf fund at local, national and global scale. Efforts should be made to connect individual initiatives, thereby laying the foundation to form commonwealth of human communities for the benefit of mankind, irrespective of caste, creed and religion. Nation-state concept has generated crisis, conflict and war in the affairs of mankind. We need to propagate Islam concept of Islamic Ummah. Cash-waqf fund can very well be spent for the welfare of the non-Muslims. May Allah help us to protect us and to serve the cause of His deen. Ameen. Thank you very much.